Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So in this video we're going to be working on part 2 of this Chevrolet C-30 dump truck. In the first video we brought it here and got it running, got the dump bed lifted up, and we kind of stopped there. So in this video we're going to do a little bit of cleaning up on it, do a little bit of maintenance on the engine, hopefully get the rear end fixed, and maybe we can do some work with this thing. So let's get to it. First things first, let's go ahead and get a battery put in this thing. Alright, let's tidy these wires up a little bit. I believe this goes to our hydraulic pump. Goes to our starter. Clean these wires off of here, sand them down. Let's not forget the heat shrink. These things right here are pretty neat. They have this band of solder in it, and then these like sealing rings in their heat shrink. So what you do, slip one of your wires here. Together. That soldering ring right over it. Now I usually use a heat gun for this, but since I don't have one right here, I'm just use a torch. Alright, the torch is not really good to use, but heat gun works perfect on them. But as you can see, it did melt into there, and it did seal it up pretty good. So yeah, it's a pretty good joint right there. Solder did melt in pretty well. Rounds here. Alright, we're all connected up here. Let's see if this thing cranks up. This thing hasn't ran in a good while since the last video, so let's see if she'll start up. A runner. Alright, I think it's time to give this thing a much needed cleaning and a bath. Let's get this interior and everything cleaned out, and then we'll get to pressure washing it.
I've been dreaming on in my head like I've seen it. A life worth living is a life with meaning. I'll do what I love till my heart stops beating. I'm feeding this demon. Got a taste, can't erase bitterness in my face. Work a job every day till your dreams fade away. Like a card, never change, play the game that we say. I need a break. I'm staying strong, need to move on to be what I want. I'll keep dreaming on. I'm staying strong, need to move on to be what I want. I'll keep dreaming on. Game face on when I chase like that. Yeah, I play so strong with a knife in the back. I'ma swing home run like a baseball bat. Gonna see me rise, you can hate on that. I don't play both sides, doing me no cap. I'ma ride or die for my dreams on tap. I'ma fly real high, you ain't see me slack. No, it's not how you fall, it's how you get right back up. That's how you get tough. Calluses on my hands so rough, yeah, I call your bluff. I'm not the one, mess with me and come out with none. Cause I'm so done, you had your fun. And now you're gonna face down the barrel of the gun. Cause I got a full clip, put your name on it. But I'ma let you slide cause you ain't worth it. I'm staying strong, need to move on to be what I want. I'll keep dreaming on. I'm staying strong.
Alright, see what treasures we find in here. Got a ratchet extension. And a bunch of other junk. Ooh, I found a quarter. Look what I found. A plumb bob. Nice one too. Solid brass. We got a visitor. Hey, baby. Hi. There's so much sketchy wiring going on this thing. I don't even know where to start. I mean, we got bare wires everywhere, wires tied around stuff, all kinds of stuff without any coverings on it. I know this is a hot wire that's just right here looking to spark on the body, so we'll have to fix that. Who knows what that goes to. Not to mention, I'd really like to have, who knows what's under, oh man. So that ain't good. That's a positive. Whoa, something's already sparking up there. Oh my gosh. What in the hell is going on? So this already looks like it melted and was touching the body. And this goes to the hydraulic pump back there. So let's start working on some of this stuff. I think I'm gonna go ahead and disconnect the battery though. I want to go ahead, this is the switch, the pump, or to the lift. I'm going to go ahead and add a switch on this first. And I think I probably, because right now they have this stuff coming through the body and that's not really a good way to do it. It can cut it and spark all over the place. So I think I want to run it under the body on the frame and attach it that way. So let's start working on that. Let's get this battery disconnected though. Start pushing this through here. Then we'll run it up back through the body. Okay, so I got my creeper here. While we're under here, I guess it'll probably be a good time to check how it looks up under here. Alright. That transmission looks a little oily. Engine looks good. Looks like it has a new oil pan on it. Starter looks pretty new, even though we're having problems with the it. Wow, that's a nice connection right there. Alright, let's get us a hole drilled in this, and let's get this wire ran. I guess I could come up right through there where there's already a hole. Alright, check this out. If we ever have to work on it, at least we can take that off. Looks like the U-joints were replaced, I think. Anyway, looks like a good spot right in here to drill our hole. So I might go go up just a hair more. So, take a little piece of fuel tubing here, slip it over it, and put it in there, and then we can. Alright, good as gold. Put some tape around that if we need to. Alright, so I got this switch here, and I think I'm going to add it in this, where there was this previous old switch to turn this on, but this doesn't need a switch, that can just stay on with the ignition. So I'm gonna run this. Through here, and then we'll go ahead and get our switch connected. You got somebody that wants to help? No. Gonna help us work on the truck. And we got some heat shrink on the switch here, over the terminals and wires. Alright, we are all hooked up here, so it works. Alright, so I took this cover off here of the transmission, and this thing was just disconnected, and there was this cap over it. And by spinning this, it is telling me that it goes to the RPM gauge. So I don't know why that was disconnected and just dangling there with a cap over it. But let's see if we can get that hooked back up. Might just be stripped out, I don't know. Seems like it's right on there. I think it's cross-threaded. It's stripped out. Could be why. We'll work with this and see if we can get it going on there right. Well, I got it on there the best I could, but it's stripped out pretty good. They cross-threaded the crap out of it. So we'll see if it works or not. Alright, you guys are not going to believe this. So we have this wire that's going to the hydraulic pump. We have this fitting on it right here that was melted through a little bit. But this is a positive wire going to the battery. And as you can see, there are fully exposed wires right here going to it. So that could have been where our spark came from. But that is just waiting for a fire. They didn't have electrical tape or anything around it. So we have definitely got to get that fixed. I don't know what happened to my channel pliers, but this will have to do right now. Or my crescent wrench. Man, is that cross thread on there or what? Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Look. The wire just came out. Oh my gosh. Whoever did the wiring on this death trap. Oh my gosh. What is this thing anyway? It's like some old disconnect switch. Who knows? Anyway, let's get this. Alright, so the wire comes to the firewall. So all this junk. About half of this wire is just being wasted. Alright, and so then we come into another connector right here. I think they used, this looks like jumper cables. Let's see if I can pull this in here. Let's get this connection undone. Finally got the electrical tape off. Now, we'll do the frame here. You aren't going to believe this. We got more connections. We got one here and then one right here. Oh my gosh. Why would they need to connect this little tiny piece in when they had all that wire that was in the cab already? I mean, under the hood. Let's go and just get this one cut open and see what it is. Actually, I can. I've seen worse. Oh my gosh, they didn't even have this stuff connected right. Alright, I just went ahead and cut the wire. I just can't believe that. Check that out. Crazy. Okay guys, you guessed it. Another splice. And we're just going to cut these off. Alright. So I'm just going to have one connection. I might actually just go straight to the motor here. I might have one splice and that's going to be soldered and heat shrink together. And I'm going to run it straight to the battery. So here's one of the connections that I undid. Look at that. Half it's already broken off. So I'm gonna get rid of all of this stuff. Well, I'm no expert, but the steering wheel shouldn't move like that. Let's see if I can get this tightened up or something. I think bolts are just really loose. That one's about coming out. I can get that all tightened up. Alright. Let's see if these are loose too. And they're all loose. Alright. No more wobbly, except for maybe this part. No big deal. Alright, so I got all the wires soldered together. I just ran a whole new wire here. I gotta finish running this under the cab and up to the battery. But there's only one connection on this, and it is right here. And that is soldered together with heat shrink over it, and then I put some electrical tape over that. And so yeah, we got rid of a bunch of just useless connections and extra wire that we didn't need. So I'm gonna finish running this through the frame rail and getting it all zip tied and clamped off, and run it to the battery, and we'll be back. Alright, I finally got the wire ran under that greasy mess. So now I just gotta hook it up back up to the battery. And what is all this junk? Ooh. I still got some more pressure washing to do under here. Alright, let's go ahead and get things kind of temporarily hooked up so I can get the power probe to some of these wires and see what they're going to. I've already pulled a bunch of these wires because actually it didn't look much better than this. But I've found out what some of these go to. A lot of them are just useless power wires that have raw ends on them that were just waiting to hit the frame and set this thing on fire. So I'm gonna get all that stuff straightened out. Okay, so I found another connection going to the starter here. And who knows what this thing looks like once I open it up. Well, I'm not pleasantly surprised to find a connection like this. Right, let's get this all fixed up and soldered together or something. That's a pretty good joint. This solder flowed in there really nicely, and that's good. Alright, I'll go over that with some electrical tape just to kind of keep the abrasion away and stuff. Alright, we got that somewhat cleaned up. Definitely a lot cleaner than what it was. Still not perfect, but still running some new wires here. There was a huge, this is that right turn signal wire, and there was a huge like rub in it. So that, I'm sure that was arcing on the engine or something. So I'm gonna cut that and run a new wire. So as I was following the turn signal wire back, I noticed why my fuel gauge isn't working, and it's because this ground wire is completely broken off. As you can see, there was an old flange right here where the ground bolts to, and I guess it went to the frame right here, or the body, and it just rusted and broke it off. So there's not really a good way to fix this unless I grind and drill a small hole through that, or maybe right here, but can't drill anything in the actual tank itself. So I guess I'm just going to try and put a really small screw through this, maybe through this where there's like a little recess. Just have to be careful not to drill through it. So both these wires soldered and shrink together, and got that ground on there. I believe my wiring saga for this truck is over for the most part. There's still a few things to do, but for the most part, it's all finished up. Got the dump bed working on a switch here. This is wired with the ignition. All the lights and gauges work. All the brake or the tail lights are all ran under through the frame like they're supposed to be ran. And all the wiring here is ran in the frame. I still got to zip tie some of the stuff off here, and all of the other stuff is ran through here. I still got to fix the mess back there where the trailer hitch is, but that's going to be another day when I do the rear axle. Got the gas tank fuel gauge ran. Got under the hood cleaned up a good bit. It's still not perfect, but it's a whole lot better than what it was before. I still got to do a little bit tightening these wires up, but I mean, it's a beater, so. But at least I don't have to worry about, for the most part, of getting caught on fire. So, all right, let's go ahead and get this all tidied up and put back together. All right, let's get this interior back in. All right, that's more like it. So the interior is looking a lot better than what it was. I got it fairly cleaned up. Got some paint in here. Got the dash put back together. Got the seat put back in. Cleaned it fairly well. So actually the heater even works in this thing, and all the wiring's good now, so pretty happy about that. Got a working bed here now. That works good, but we still have one more thing we got to fix in here, and that would be this window roller 3000, because it's more like a 1000 right now. So let's get this door panel put on and get a handle put on there and fix it up. Oh yeah. There we go. All right, so the interior is pretty much done for now. At least it's a whole lot better than what it was before, that's for sure. Still not perfect, but I mean, it's an old work truck. At least all the wiring's good now. No more chances of it setting on fire, hopefully. So, the seats in here. Before, actually, when I took this thing out, there was only like 1.5 bolts holding this thing on. So if you got into a wreck or something, you are not going to be in good shape. All right, let's work on something else. All right, so one of the things that I need to fix on here, I don't know if you can see it, all this oil right here, and it is leaking all around. It's coming from the back of this valve cover gasket. So let's go and take these valve covers off and get the gaskets replaced. We'll go ahead and change the oil. See if we can get this oil changed. Goodness. Nails on there. was not that bad. I mean, it's a little dark, but it looks clean. That's good. And I got a fram filter. I'm replacing it with another fram filter. That's all my auto parts had. So yeah, this whole COVID thing, it's hard to get stuff nowadays. All right, I'm gonna let this drain and we'll be back. All right, let me get this filter off. So this is a transmission under this thing, and it is covered in old grease. I have no idea what kind of transmission this is. It's a manual, and if anybody knows, it almost looks like some kind of different bell housing. There was some work done to it. If anybody knows what kind of transmission this is, post it in the comments. But yeah, there's definitely been some modifications or repairs done to it. Get a look at the other side here. Alright, so while that oil is drained, let's go ahead and take these valve covers off. There's old gaskets. Yeah, looks like it was definitely leaking right here. This old girl sure does look like it's had a pretty rough life. There's I mean, it's not horrible, but it's got some carbon built up on it. Alright, I got the valve covers here. I'm gonna go ahead and get them all cleaned up. I'm gonna try the super clean. I've heard it was some pretty good stuff, so I'm gonna give it a try. Just spray the stuff on and see if it's any good. Just gonna spray it on and let it sit for a second. I'll give it like 5 minutes, see what it does. It's already starting to get stuff off right here. Look at that. Man, it just dissolves it. No way. Look at that. I haven't even put any water on it, and it's just like dissolving it. I can't believe that. I'm not even scrubbing it. Wow. Spray that in. I already sprayed this one. It's already, stuff's already coming right off. Look at that. It's just literally without scrubbing it. It's coming right off. Some pretty good stuff. When I do the rear end differential, clean it up with this stuff. Alright, so I'm pretty impressed with that super clean stuff. You got these things looking completely cleaned. The only spots that you see on there now is like where the rust is kind of showing through. It's not grease or anything. And it's like where the paint's coming off. I guess somebody painted a primer over these, but like all the grease is completely off of these things. Like that, all that stuff, that's not grease. Alright, so before I install these cork gaskets, I'm going to go ahead and put some of this copper spray gasket stuff over it. It's a light coating, just kind of help keep them sealed up. Those valve covers aren't in the best of shape, so anything that will help. I'll flip them over and get the other side too. I'll get the other side. Alright, looking good. Alrighty, let's go ahead and see if this thing cranks up. Oil pressure is climbing. Oh yeah, we're getting good oil pressure now. That's just at an idle, 40 psi. Before I did the oil, it was probably around 30, so that's good. Alright guys, well I think this is going to be it for this video. In the next video we are going to be tackling the rear end on this thing. So I want to make a separate video in itself on that because it's probably going to be a pretty big job. And there's still a lot of other things to do on this. I still got to get some of this wiring straightened up, and yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get the frame painted and all kinds of other stuff. So be on the lookout for that in part 3, and I will see you guys then. Take care.